Okay, so I had lots of concerns about my daughter, mainly just how she didn't really cope with a lot in life and would often hit herself and hurt herself. And I was just really concerned that if it continued, along with the anxiety, that it would just get worse as she headed into her teenage years. And so I just wanted to get support for me to help her and make sure that I did everything I could to kind of help her. I decided to come to Anxend. Well, I was literally online looking for help and support. With CAMS, I was just sort of finding that there wasn't really anything that really targeted exactly what we needed. Generally, I find, when people need help, they tend to say, oh, my child needs help. But I knew that it was more than that. I needed help too. And so it was absolutely amazing. When I first saw the advert, I sort of clicked on and gave my information, and I got a phone call, and I kind of thought, oh, this is a bit strange. And am I going to have to sign up immediately? But actually had a really, really amazing phone call with the guy who owns the company. And it's been the most amazing thing I've ever done, really, for me and my daughter. Okay, the experience that I've had with Anxend has been absolutely amazing from beginning to end. The support that I received during the time that we've worked with Anxend has been amazing. Even at times where I actually didn't quite believe that what I was doing was really going to help, and my anxiety was sort of coming into play, I was supported absolutely a 1,000,000% to kind of help with my parenting and how to guide my child through her anxiety. And I would say really by the end of the course, I was able to see my daughter for the first time since she was about 6 years old. So she's just turned 12. So it's been 6 years of really awful anxiety. And for, like I just said, for the first time, I could see her, not just her anxiety and her personality shining through. And I kind of realised what an important journey it's been and how helpful it's been for us. I would say the best part of the programme for me was always knowing that the person that I was working with was available. In between sessions that I were having, I was able to send emails, and it was like the door really was always open. So it meant that I really felt fully supported. My daughter the same. She could send emails whenever she wanted. If there wasn't something that happened or I needed to go over, I could bring my sessions forward. It was really, really tailored to exactly what we needed when we needed it, over the whole time. So it's 6 months, which has just been invaluable. Okay, so I was particularly challenged by sort of letting go. To be honest, I was parented with an inch of my life when I was younger, and I very much kind of, even though I didn't feel that it was right, I didn't know how to not parent with a huge amount of control or want to be in control. And I was advised to step back quite a bit, and it was incredibly difficult, and I knew that it was the right thing to do. Excuse me. I knew that it was the right thing to do and that it would be helpful, but my anxiety and my fear came into play massively, and I was supported through that. That was probably the most challenging, and I said to the person that I was working with, what if something happens to my child and I've taken the advice that's going completely against what I would naturally do. And everything is fine. And actually it's worked out as I wanted it to work out. But it was really good to kind of have someone there just saying, it's okay, it's just your anxiety. It's, it'll be okay. And we've had some massive changes from when I began the program. We were actually living with my ex-partner and his child. And there was quite a long period where my daughter actually didn't really want to have a lot to do with me. She wasn't really interested in, coming down for dinner or talking to me. She was quite low. She was being homeschooled as well. And she went back to the last year of primary school. And she had some tricky bits there with some bullying. But over the time, she's just sort of blossomed and really come back to herself. She's laughing, she's telling jokes, she comes down, she gives me a hug, like we cook together. It really is kind of much more the way that I think that we should be as a family, even though we're a very small family. It feels sort of a lot more harmonious, and my daughter, I would say, acts much happier than she has in a really, really long time. And she's got some self-confidence, which is really, really nice. So I can tell that she's much stronger than she was before we started the program. Before starting the program, leaving the house was probably one of the most difficult things. Just sort of getting ready to leave the house to go anywhere, even if it was somewhere that my daughter actually wanted to go. Now we can do that calmly, and my daughter's able to focus more, because we find that if I'm around when she's trying to get ready to leave the house, it kind of makes things quite difficult. And so we've been able to put things into place that enable both of us to be able to get out of the house in a calm way. We can actually go and get out the house and do something nice, which, for a very long time, that was not something that we couldn't do, but it was something that I just would dread, to be honest. So there was many occasions where we just wouldn't go and do anything. So yeah, that's a really good thing. A lot more confident now, managing my daughter's anxiety in the best way, because over the period of time, because it is a good chunk of time, I'm able to kind of put things into practice and really see what works and what doesn't work. So I'm very aware now that when I'm doing things with my daughter and there's something that comes up, I know how to manage it in a calm way. And if I don't, I know exactly where I've gone wrong. So we're able to kind of talk about it together, actually, which is really quite good because she wouldn't speak to me before. So it's opened a lot of that up between us as well. So yeah, I'm much more confident now being able to manage sort of anxious episodes than I was before, without me having a meltdown as well. I would recommend Anxend to anyone who has anxiety in the household. So whether it be sort of you and your children or just your children, because it really does disrupt family life. It's really, really supportive to sort of everyone in the family, the whole family can be involved if need be. And also, it's really tailored to your family. The service is just second to none. You can't really find anything out there like this. This works, like I said, with the whole family. So it's not like going to your GP and the child just getting help by themselves. It enables the whole dynamics of the family to work together in a much better way. It's life-changing. With regards to the session, so I would have an hour, one every other week, and my daughter would have one for half an hour each week. I have to say that I think I might have a bit of ADHD. I'm really forgetful, and so I would often forget what time I was meant to be on my session. Never once was I made to feel bad about that. Times could be shifted and changed when needs be. If we were away, we would catch up afterwards. Sometimes we would have a session while we were away. Whatever really worked. It was really quite simple just to kind of have the session. And my daughter would have hers sort of on the same day every single week, so we were just able to work around it. I think if we hadn't been able to get access to a resource like this, I dread really to think where we would have been. My daughter was talking about harming herself, not wanting to be here anymore, and to be able to see the shift in her, where I can see who she is as a person, not just this frightened person who dislikes everything about life. I absolutely dread to think what we would have been facing if we didn't have this resource. As I said already, it's just been so helpful for both of us. It's just the kind of help that it's very hard to find. I actually knew quite a lot about anxiety before I started on this program. There have been some nuggets of information, definitely, that I've got from this. For me, it was more how to put what I know into practice, and having the support to help me remember how to support my child. And with it sort of being over quite a long period of time, it's just helped shape me into a better parent, as well as someone that I'm happier to be as well, and help my daughter at the same time. I know that lots of other people may not have any experience. I've been looking for help for my daughter since she was 6 years old, so that's 6 years. So I've tried many different things. This is the only thing that's really worked, I think, because of the way that the program is shaped and how much it actually helps. I would definitely recommend working with the team at Anxend. Everything they do is tailored towards helping children with anxiety, or families actually, not just the children, the parents too. The outcome will be what you want it to be. I can't imagine anyone going through this program and not coming out with a really good amount of positive impact. And so, I just don't think that anyone should really question working with Anxend. there's no risk involved, really. Just sort of jump on with the team, put your details in, and you will get to know very, very quickly that it's one of the best things that you can do for your family.